Hey everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Today we take a closer look at one of England's greatest saints. Saint Wilfrid was a monk and bishop from Northumbria, born in the year 634. Ordained a priest in 664 by the Gaulish bishop Agilbert, Wilfrid went on to participate in the Synod of Whitby, where the English Church was debating whether to follow Celtic or Roman ways. Wilfrid successfully argued in favor of Rome, and ultimately, the Synod agreed to follow Roman practices. Alfred elected Wilfrid as Bishop of York, but refusing to be ordained by Celtic bishops, he made the journey to be properly consecrated in Champagne, France. Meanwhile, Oswiu appointed St. Chad to become Bishop of York. Upon Wilfrid's return, he found that his position had been wrongfully given away, and he was obliged to stay in Ripon. It wasn't until 669 that he was restored to his place as Bishop of York, when the Archbishop, St. Theodore of Canterbury, deposed Chad, allowing Wilfrid to take his rightful place as leader of his diocese in Northumbria. He then built a monastery in Hexham and promoted the Benedictine rule throughout the kingdom. His troubles continued, however, when in 677 the archbishop decided to divide up Wilfrid's diocese. After appealing to Rome, he was forced into exile while he waited for the verdict concerning his case. During his exile, he worked to convert the Frisians of southern Saxony, tirelessly evangelizing among the pagan peoples. He was finally recalled to York in 679 by Pope St. Agatho, but was ordered to comply with the division of his diocese upon the condition that he, with a local council, appoint the new bishops. However, the king Ecgfrith, Oswiu's successor, refused to comply with the papal mandate and attempted to imprison Wilfrid upon his return. Wilfrid was forced to take refuge in Sussex. While there, he evangelized the people, preaching the gospel, and built a monastery in Selsley. In 686, after the king had died, his successor called Wilfrid again to come back to Yorkshire, but in spite of the reissuing of the injunction set by Pope Agatho, Wilfrid was still improperly restored. He demanded the fulfillment of his rights, choosing to remain in exile another 11 years, serving as bishop in Mercia. A council was held in 702 regarding Wilfrid. Eventually, Wilfrid was cleared of all charges against him, but he no longer insisted upon his position in York. Instead, he retained his monasteries in Ripon, Hexham, and Mercia. Finally able to live the quiet life of a monk, he retired to Ripon once more. He spent the rest of his days in prayer and penitential acts until his death in 709. Wilfrid's life was one of constant battle against the forces of his time, but he never ceded his convictions or wavered in his position on papal authority. Wilfrid's courage, steadfast conviction, and zeal for spreading the good news of the gospel should encourage us all to be more bold in our own lives. Even if things don't always go our own way, the truth is always worth fighting for. St. Wilfrid, pray for us.